let's talk about imposter syndrome and why that is one of the many reasons that's holding you back. Imposter syndrome should not be the reason why you don't get to do the things that you want to do for you. Imposter syndrome should not be the reason why you don't get to grow. All right, we're going to take a second and pause because I want to say welcome to my channel. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back. If you are not, then you're missing on some really good things. And here we're just trying to build a community, right? To support each other as we grow through this thing called life. Today's conversation is about something really important that I see a lot of different people actually experiencing, but not really expressing. And I think this is where we start that conversation as a community, back to our regular scheduled program. It's not often that we actually take time to talk about how we are showing up in a space. If we are in a place with very high imposter syndrome, right? We're going to feel like as though we're not supposed to have that life. We're going to feel as though we can't achieve that life. And, but most importantly, we're not going to be able to really value um, those moments that we're creating for ourselves if we feel as though we shouldn't be there or if we're questioning whether or not we should be there, right? I thought it was important to kind of share my journey through um, experiencing imposter syndrome. I went from feeling, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. Oh my God, should I be here? Oh my God, like, why am I here? To, um, excuse me, like, if you're not really familiar with what imposter syndrome is, it's pretty much, you ever felt like you just didn't belong where you are, like, or that the things that you've done, the efforts that you put in, still didn't equate to the seat that you had at whatever table you were at. Through my, I would say, professional journey, different bouts with imposter syndrome. And it's more about my background, or it's more about the table that I was sitting at, what representation was there. It's been a bunch of different things. A lot of my bouts with imposter syndrome, okay, I'm like just here because my hair is so thingy. So a lot of my, I would say, struggles or work throughs of imposter syndrome have come about when I am in a setting where I feel as though I need to come, like show up a certain way. I mean, if you notice my background, I'm actually in a hotel because I'm at a work conference. Oh, this is so much better. I'm at a work conference, hence why I have this headset because I forgot to bring my mic. But we're gonna do with what we have, right? And I was kind of thinking about my personal journey through my very first professional conference to my journey now and how things have really shifted. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. Oh my God, should I actually be here? Oh my God, like, why am I here? To this is where I actually belong and I see the value that I bring. So I've had a few work conferences, and of course, I want to keep, I would say, privacy of where I work and what I do. But I thought it was a lot of value in talking about imposter syndrome and how it shows up in what we do day to day. Because if we're talking about self growth and we're talking about living a soft life or romanticizing our life, we can't really do that if we are in a place with very high imposter syndrome. So, yeah, this week I'm at a conference and I'm feeling great about it. And I'm in, I would say, 75% into day one, still have 2 more days to go. But my experience this time is totally different from my first experiences. And I want to dig into that because imposter syndrome should not be the reason why you don't get to do the things that you want to do for you. Imposter syndrome should not be the reason why you don't get to grow. Now, we need to tap into that and figure out what is it, because it can be a combination of things, and then move through it. So earlier I kind of talked through some experiences at work, and right now you see I'm up against a wall. I'm not home. I'm traveling again, but this is a family trip. And I wanted to take a second to kind of insert my thoughts currently. So I'm a little stuffy. I'm getting over like some sort of respiratory infection or something. I don't know, there's so many things going on in the world between the parasite and hysteria in New York City. There's just so much going on. So I just don't setting. But I wanted to talk about how imposter syndrome shows up in my day-to-day, everyday life, because that is also something that's important. It shows up by us doubting our skills or just doubting our success. And how I see it show up for me is, say I'm at a place where I feel successful and I can do certain things for myself. So why wouldn't I want to take advantage of that? But there's a lot of doubt around doing that. Like, am I where I should be for the age that I'm turning? And is it enough to really celebrate? There's a lot of like competing thoughts. And I don't know if you guys have kind of gone through this or had similar thoughts, but if you have, like, I'd love to hear how you kind of navigated through it. Please drop in the comments. So we can generally just have some conversation around this because the imposter syndrome thing, honestly, it's like a roller coaster. Sometimes it's non-existent, sometimes it shows its head. But how do you get to a place where it's never showing its head? It shows up in a lot of different ways. And I know imposter syndrome, when you really think about it, it's just like really doubting specific things, but it's the anxiety that comes with it, the consistent doubt. Another part of imposter syndrome that I haven't really mentioned is about feeling like you're kind of like a fraud, right? I know I talked about all this other stuff about treating myself, but the part of imposter syndrome, that feeling as though parts of you are fraudulent, like that's a real deal thing. Um, if you know me, even if you see some of my content, you'll see that I love organizing. I talk about often about interior decorating. In my mind, I know some things. To my friends and family, I'm like this expert, and I kind of question whether or not I put uh, perception out there that I am, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just kind of like winging things and learning things as I go. I am skilled in those things, but I feel as though I may like not be, or like I'm a fraud in a sense because I'm like, oh no, I'm not that great at that. And they'll ask me to like support something, I talk them through something, and they're like, oh, you're so knowledgeable about this, or it's very good. And I'm just like, inside of me, like the anxiety's going all crazy. So I don't know. There's a lot in there, but I think there's a little less imposter syndrome in my personal life. There was tremendous amounts of imposter syndrome in my work life. And through these experiences, I've gotten to a place where things have gotten better, especially professionally, because I've been in my career for about 5, 6 years, and with no actual formal training. And it is a very, I would say, an intuitive, um, like role. And I don't have any formal training, so I think also that's where all that like feeling of being fraudulent or not being good enough to be in a certain thing or doubting my skills comes from. And I've done a lot of work to work on building that. But what's most important about it is being self-aware. Self-awareness in anything will take you like to next level. Because if you're not aware of like what's going on, or how you are reacting to something, or how something kind of sits with you, then you're not going to be able to make any type of pivot or like progress, or like type of change. Like, so self-awareness is key in every single thing that we do, especially if you're trying to be a version of yourself that you feel happy with, or be a better version of yourself that you haven't seen yet. Like you may not know what that version is. You have to have self-awareness, because self-awareness supports everything. I know we chatted a lot in this video about something that you may or may not have known. I would love to hear if this kind of helped your understanding of imposter syndrome, or if you have any particular examples that you feel like sharing in the comments. I'd love that as well. Or please tell me some things that have helped you. I want to hear, other experiences and perspectives to kind of help and shape me as well. So please drop that in the comment. And if you like this content, or if you feel like there's a connection here that's going on, I highly encourage you to subscribe as well. We're trying to grow this community. I appreciate every single one of you that have subscribed to me. Um, because slowly but surely we're building a very tight knit community. Until next time, thank you.